Let's talk about relationship options to cross someone's path. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Welcome to day 1597 of What You Up To Now. Documenting the business journey, primarily business journey, but talk about mindset and life and stuff because it's so important to everything that we do and who we are and who we're becoming. Over and originally started doing this to document my journey. I'm legally blind, so it's hard for me to like take notes and write things down and then go back and review them. It's pretty easy to create a video and keep track of my journey, what I'm doing every day, what's working, what's not, the lessons learned, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So today, every day I create 2 pieces of content. One is for my Supersize Your Business group, and one is for our annual challenge. This is the 5th year I've done an online annual challenge. I've done annual challenges for, at least 12 years, but before that, but primarily following my sudden cardiac arrest, I did my first annual challenge back then was to exercise every day. And of course, my family informed me that I was crazy because they knew me before I had my sudden cardiac arrest. They knew I didn't eat right. I didn't take care of myself. I didn't exercise at all, except for running around my businesses and my work locations. But they knew that I was not a exercise on purpose person, not since college and had my kids and things. So they didn't believe that I could do it. And I'm one of those people, I learned a long time ago, that if you just tell me I can't do something, that pretty much guarantees it's going to happen. Some way, shape, or form, it's going to happen. I'm going to figure it out. I think it's important that we're resilient and commit to something, but once we commit to it, we're committing to the end result. We're going to figure out how to get that end result no matter what we have to do. Now, I say no matter what that matches our core values and beliefs, of course. So that was my first one. But this year's annual challenge is about becoming the best possible version of ourselves, to continually improve, to do one thing every day that improves us. And I like this challenge because it doesn't really ever have to end. We can do it for this year. We could do it for a week. We could do it for a month. We can do it for a day. We can do it here and there, but it will always make us better, right? So anything we choose to do, one thing any day, every day, that moves us toward becoming the ideal person we want to be. And there is no perfect, there is no ideal. There's the best version of ourselves, or the continually improving version of ourselves. And what's best about that is it's 100% up to us. We might think and feel that something is better for us, but people around us might think that it's worse. Maybe they think we're getting more ornery, more selfish, more curmudgeon-y, more anything, but they think that because it's not right for them, but it doesn't mean it isn't 100% right for us. So today, the pieces of content that we created were for the Be Me 365-day challenge. There's the Be You 365-day challenge. I want to be me, but you want to be you. So it's the Be You challenge. Our topic today, we're doing the SOAP framework with respect to relationship areas and aspects of our life. So we picked a relationship yesterday and we told ourselves the story about it, the S, the story situation. What's our current story? What are we telling ourselves right now? What is the situation right now with this relationship? And then what's our desired story? What do we want it to be? And then the O, the A, and the P help us fill the gap between the C and the D, the current and the desired story. So today we are exploring options. And of course, brainstorming is my favorite way to come up with options. Didn't write backwards very well today, but I have a tool that I call the 10, 3, and 1. So we brainstorm a minimum of 10 possible ways to begin filling that gap. Then tomorrow, and then we select 3, the 3 that seem the most viable to us. Then tomorrow, as we pop into the A, we're going to analyze and pick one of those to take action on. And we'll have a tool to do that. I don't know what it's going to be yet. I haven't decided. Excuse me, cloggy throat today. So we'll use that brainstorming tool. And I shared, some of the reasons and excuses. My current story is what it is with respect to friendship. I'm doing friendship as a relationship, and I picked a specific friend that I am looking at that relationship. Not, I could pick all the friends, but every situation is a little bit different. So I challenge myself to pick one specific person in the friends category. If you're doing family, you don't pick your whole family, you pick one specific person. Now, I did do my daughter, my son, and my son-in-law one time, and I found it's kind of hard because I have a slightly different relationship with all of them, right? The relationship I have with my son and daughter is different than the relationship I have with my son-in-law. So That's part of the reason why I said, nope, I have to pick one friend and we're going to analyze that relationship, not, all the different others. So that was our annual challenge for today. It was simple. I don't know how long I talked, but not very long. Basically, here's what you did yesterday. Here's what I did. Here's the assignment for today. Go out and do it as you go throughout your day. Come up with 10 possible ways to start filling that gap. Maybe it's for me. I'm not going to do that here. That's for that group. Okay, so our supersize your business idiom today was to cross someone's path. And I actually had fun with this one because it's one of those idioms and expressions that's been around for a long time. I've used it. I don't know how many times in my life, but I've definitely said, and used the expression to cross someone's path. And I believe, and this is just my current belief, that everyone and everything that happens in our life, the good, the bad, the traumatic, the horrible, the dramatic, because not sure why my throat's so cloggy. I apologize. But I believe that people come in and out of our life for a reason, and we get sad when people leave our lives, but it's always for a reason. It's always for our benefit. And when we see things that way, even the bad and challenging things that happen to us, we take the lessons from and we move forward in our life, which is part of continually improving, right? So I found an article in notsalmon.com, which I don't know that I've been there before, but they talked about the 6 different groups of people that we meet that prove that we don't meet people by accident, that we meet them for a reason. And I thought that was wonderful. They talked about people that are bridges, people that are roadblocks, are really there to redirect us, people that are assignments and teachers, people that are angels, people that are guideposts, and people that are your tribe. And I thought it was a really powerful little piece to remind us that it feels like we meet people accidentally and we cross their paths accidentally. I think about, and I was going to share a story about, and I forgot to, about a young man that I met when I was out in Los Angeles for the engineering convention, the industrial engineering convention. And I was a college student then. And so my college, University of Minnesota, sent me out there to attend this conference. And I was staying with, my sister had a comedy club at the time in Dallas. And so I was staying with one of the comedians, I'm not going to say who, and her sister out in LA. And through them, I met this young man. And this young man, we had a really good time. He was really a nice person. He came into my life at a time when I was really struggling and transitioning from a health standpoint. I had been bedridden for several years and was going to school again, finally, after starting to make some adjustments in my thoughts and feelings and beliefs and behavior. But I still was, my self-esteem and my self-confidence was still fragile. And I met this person and he gave me a poem, and I carried this poem around. I'm sure I still have that poem in a box somewhere, but I carried it around with me from all my jobs in corporate America. After I got married, I had that poem in my desk all the time because it was, and I would say he was definitely a guidepost, if not an angel, that I met at a time when I needed, well, he could have been a redirector, but I think a guidepost more than a redirector. He gave me that poem, and that poem was what I needed. It's kind of like my dad had a poem that he read all the time. I think it's called The Man in the Mirror, The Man in the Looking Glass. And he loved that poem. He got it when he was younger, and it's a poem that he kept with him. So that's a guidepost too. Things we read, books we read, that people and experiences that we have are guideposts or angels or redirectors or etc. roadblocks that end up being redirectors. My sudden cardiac arrest is probably the biggest roadblock, obstacle, trauma redirector of my life. And of course, when we're having those experiences, they don't always feel like they're redirectors, but they always are, because they force us to make a decision, make a choice, change a direction that we were going, because obviously we were barreling into a wall that was the wrong direction for us. All right, that's all I've got today. I've got fun stuff going on that I want to go work on, so I'm going to sign off and say I'll see you tomorrow. Any questions, ask. Otherwise, have an absolutely fabulous day. Bye.